What is syntax in linguistics? Syntax in linguistics refers to the arrangement of words and phrases. Syntax covers topics like word order and grammar rules, such as subject-verb agreement or the correct placement of direct and indirect subject. Syntax is essential to understanding constituency, the term for multiple words acting as a single unit. In long and complex sentence, constituency is necessary to determine the hierarchy within the sentence, particularly with sentence diagramming. Changing the placement of a word often changes the meaning of the sentence. Sometimes the change is minor, useful for writers who like nouns and subtext, but sometimes the change is more significant, giving the entry sentence a whole new interpretation. Okay, next is the syntax example. Notice how moving the word only changes the meaning of the entry sentence. Keep in mind that only can be an adjective or an adverb. An adjective modifies the noun that comes after them, and adverbs modify the verbs, adjective, or the adverbs that come after them. Like, only Batman fights crime, meaning Batman is the only person who fights crime. No one expects Batman fights crime, not even Superman. Batman only fights crime, meaning fighting crime is the only thing Batman does. He doesn't work, he doesn't shower, fighting crime is all he does. Batman fights only crime, meaning Batman doesn't fight anything except crime. He doesn't fight Albert or Robin. He doesn't fight the dry clean if they accidentally stain his shirt. Crime is the only thing he fights. Okay, next is types of syntax. 7 syntactic patterns with syntax example. First is subject-verb. The dog barked. This is the standard syntactic pattern, including the minimum requirement of just a subject and verb. The subject always comes first. Second, subject, verb, direct object. The dog carried the ball. If the verb is transitive and use a direct object, the direct object always goes after the verb. Third, subject, verb, subject complement. The dog is playful. The subject complement comes after the verb. Subject complement always use liking verbs like be or seem. Fourth, subject, verb, adverbial complement. The dog eats hungrily. Like subject complements, adverbial complement come after the verb. If there are no object, be careful, because single adverb can sometimes come before the verb. However, these are not complements. If you are not sure what are an adverb in a complement or not, try to removing it from the sentence to see if the meaning changes. If you find the removing it does change the meaning, it is an adverbial complement. Fifth, subject, verb, indirect object, direct object. The dog gave me the ball. Some sentences have both a direct object and indirect object. In this case, the indirect object comes right after the verb, and the direct object comes after the indirect object. Keep in mind the objects of preposition do not follow the pattern. For example, you can say the dog gave the ball to me. Sixth, subject, verb, direct object, object complement. The dog made the ball dirty. Object complements come after the direct object, similar to other complements. Seventh, subject, verb, direct object, adverbial complement. The dog barked its ear up. When the sentence uses both a direct object and an adverbial complement. The direct object comes first, followed by the adverbial complement. In the syntax example, up is the adverbial complement because it describes how the dog barked earlier. Okay, next is types of syntax. For sentence structure with syntax example. First, simple. Includes the minimum requirement for a sentence with a just single independent clause. We go to the beach in summer. Second, complex. An independent clause combined with one or more subordinate clause. We go to the beach in summer when school is finished. Third is compound. Two independent clauses joined by a coordinating conjunction or a semicolon. We go to the beach in summer, but my cat stays home. Fourth, compound complex. Two independent clauses combined with one or more subordinate clauses. We go to the beach in summer, but my cat stays home because he doesn't own a swimsuit.